All right, here we go. Somatic psychology. What is it? Well, where the body goes, the mind follows. Okay, so meaning you can lead with the body or you can lead with the mind. Okay, so, okay, more, give us more. All right, here you go. All right, so when you lead with the body, okay, so a lot of the confidence that I teach my clients, I lead with the body. So I make improvements in their body language first, okay? And it improves how they think about themselves, okay? It improves their self-confidence, their self-esteem, their self-image. And you can correct these things by adjusting body language, okay? But it goes a little bit deeper than that. Now, you can do it the other way around as well, right? So with the mind, okay, the thoughts you think can raise your self-esteem, can make you, right? And it also can improve your posture. So what happens when I take little children and I start giving them training, their body language automatically corrects. And pretty soon their heads are held high like that. And pretty soon their chest starts puffing out. And this is all automatic. This happens automatically, okay? When you lead with the mind. When you lead with the body, the mind follows. Okay, so you adjust some, have somebody, okay, stand like this, hold your head like this. So try it. I'm going to give you guys an exercise, okay? Try it. So this is straight ahead like this, right? Now what I want you to do is I want you to lift your head just a little bit like this, just that much, okay? And hold it. Just hold it right there and see how that feels. Doesn't that feel better? You see? You see? Okay? That's where the body goes, the mind follows. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, John. Good morning, Tabitha. Good morning, Holly. Moteko, good morning. So, where the body goes, the mind follows. Now, what's another thing you can do with your body to make you confident? Well, there's several poses that you can do, but just start with head position. And you never want to dip your head. When you walk into a room, okay, when you're walking down a sidewalk, you never want to put your head down like this and look where you're going. Okay, you want to be able to lift your head so you pivot on your chin, so to speak. Okay, so when you look around, you don't do this, you don't do that. Okay, you stay here and you do this, and you do that, and you do this. You don't drop your head. Okay, so somatic psychology also goes a step deeper. Somatic psychology also tells us that not only where the body goes, the mind follows, okay, but also trauma is stored in the body. Okay, now first I must say that all cells have memory. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. All cells have memory. When you experience trauma, your body records it. It goes into your subconscious. How does it do that? Your subconscious is made up of everything that you feel. Everything, all of your senses, everything that you touch, everything that you smell, everything that you taste, everything. Okay? Now, all of this sensory perception goes into your subconscious. So when you experience trauma, your body remembers it. Okay? Your subconscious remembers it. Cells in your body remember it. Okay? So people that have like PTSD, okay, certain doctors that specialize in this can help and assist with their PTSD through the body, not just the mind. So somatic psychology is that mind-body connection. So psychological issues are not just in the head, but it's stored in the body, in your cells, because all cells have memory. Okay, the central idea is that the body and mind are not separate. Okay, they're not separate. They work in concert with each other. Okay, so your mind is what makes your body work. Okay, so when you start to, look at trauma, for example, just as an example, okay, trauma can be healed through the body or through the mind. You don't just have to talk about it or articulate the problem or articulate the trauma. You can actually work it through the body. Touch, awareness, Okay, movement. So what normally happens is they will ask you to focus on the, let's say for example you have PTSD, and every time you get in a crowd, okay, a lot of military people have this. I work with a lot of military people that have PTSD. When they get in a crowded area like a shopping mall and there's a lot of people, sometimes their shoulders start to tense up like this. Okay, it's a natural reaction. Why? Because the trauma is associated with those muscles. So now when they're in that situation, they start to tense up like this, right? They start to feel it here. So what do doctors do? Well, they have them focus here and relieve the shoulders first. Okay? So it's a combination, actually, neuroscience, psychology, okay, physiology, body work, mindfulness, and trauma research all rolled into one. But when they focus on the muscles instead of the PTSD, right? Because the PTSD is the panic part. The PTSD is the remembering the trauma part. But the physical reaction part are the shoulders now, in this instance. Okay, so somebody has PTSD, they get in a shopping mall, they see a lot of people, they start to tense up like this, and they go, and this is the warning sign, right? This is the warning sign, like, oh crap, it's gonna happen again, that kind of thing, okay? So in that situation, the focus would be the shoulders. Call his attention to his shoulders. Say, okay, relax your shoulders, right? And maybe it's massage the shoulders, or maybe it's work out the shoulders, okay? Work out the shoulders. Now you're addressing the physical aspect of the trauma instead of the mental aspect of the trauma. So that's what somatic psychology is, anyway, okay? Why is this important? Because where the body goes, the mind follows, and vice versa. And for confidence, which is what I do the confidence end of it. I don't do somatic psychology and all this. I'm just explaining to you so you understand, and breaking it down so you understand what it is. But where the body goes, the mind follows. So with some of my clients, when they don't respond right away with, let's say, the thinking aspect of it or the psychological aspect of it, okay, of confidence, then I start correcting their body language. And when you start correcting a person's body language, guess what? They feel more confident. Okay, so there's a direct body-mind correlation. And why is this important? Well, when you're doing your affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization, let's say your affirmations take a little time to kick in. Let's say your meditation gets you got to get adjusted to it. You can't sit still for 10 minutes in the beginning. Let's say your vocalization just started and it didn't really kick in yet because maybe it's just the second session. And maybe your visualization skills aren't up to par yet. What you can do is start adjusting your body language. Okay, it starts with holding your head up. Okay, don't dip your head. Now, I gotta say, like, this is straight ahead for me. Okay, this is straight ahead. This is my default, like this. Okay, this is arrogant. Okay, so there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Okay, very fine line. So now, what you do though is you begin leading with positive body language, and the physical will lead the mental. Okay? The other way around, you can start thinking good thoughts, affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization. Okay? And that will lead to confidence. So it's either or, but there is that body-mind connection. Okay? So now, how does it work in the everyday world? Well, start walking briskly. You'll feel better. Okay? When you walk somewhere. Okay? When you walk somewhere, take longer strides in your body language. Okay? Move your shoulders when you walk. Loosen up a bit. Now this will become reflective in your personality. This will become a part of your personality. You will start to incorporate these things into your personality. So instead of being so rigid, instead of being so uptight, so to speak, you'll become more fluid. Okay, your movements will become more fluid, you will loosen up, you will feel better and be more confident. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about, the idea of letting go of your roots and changing your fruits. Okay, so this is part of that. Because when you have these beliefs in your subconscious, when you have, certain beliefs that don't serve you, you have to let it go. And part of letting it go, okay, is correcting your body language so you feel better. So you have to do the things that make you feel better. Good morning. Good morning, Estrelita. Good morning. User the cookies. Long time no see. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There she goes again. Okay. But these are the things that you can do. These are things that you can do right now. You can change your body language right now. So when you sit down, take up space, open, begin to open. When you begin to open here, you begin to open here. When you begin to open here, you begin to open here. Okay. So the first thing to do, the question from my clients is always like, okay, what do I do first? What do I do first? Okay, first, affirmations. So let's take the pen, okay? I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident. Thank you. There you go. That's your affirmation. Okay, what's the meditation? The meditation is to sit still for 10 minutes. That's a tall order. Okay, especially in today's society when we're scrolling all day, we're checking to see what's going on, right? Stimulus is real. It keeps us on the go. It keeps us go, go, go. Does it keep us physically like that? No, it's here. And that's why the prison is here. Because too much stimulus, you don't get the vibrational break that you need. You don't get the rest that you need. So you need to slow this one down. So 10 minutes, that's all you need, 10 minutes a day. Try to do 5 minutes first. 10 minutes is a long time if you haven't done it. So this morning I did, I did 2 hours and 20 minutes of meditation. So yeah, it was a long one. Actually, it was 5 different sets of meditation. So this is very good because what this does is it gives you an anchor, an energetic anchor. That is to say that you start feeling centered. So confidence is a relaxed, centered feeling. Okay, you can also use, you might want to use the term relaxation as a synonym to confidence. Confidence is relaxation. It's just like, it's like being chill. It's like, like that, yeah. Bomb went off over there. What's that? That kind of thing, okay? Now the people that, if you look at people that do martial arts, okay, I'm not talking about the white belts, I'm talking about the black belts. They're very centered people. I have a friend that is an Aikido master, and he is the most centered person I know. And he works with energy. Everything is energy. But you can't keep your energy going like that. You need to have that vibrational break. Okay, so affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization, okay? And the meditation part is just to take a break. So try 5 minutes. So what I do is I have my phone and I set the timer. Okay, my timer is on 20 minutes. But you can set yours for 5 minutes. And then just tell yourself you're not going to get up until you complete it. And just sit. Just sit and enjoy. So what about the vocalization? Well, the vocalization is in 2 forms. Okay, so you speak your affirmations. You change your language to speak more positive words than negative words. Okay? Because you can speak life, you can speak love, or you can speak fear or speak death. How do you do that? How does that happen? It happens through your subconscious. So your subconscious is always listening, it's always taking notes. So if you're not aware of this, what happens is when you start speaking bad stuff or negative stuff or fearful stuff or curse words or, well, there has to be some intent behind it, okay? I know people that use curse words like they're just part of language, right? They're just part of their speech. But I'm talking about when you use curse words directed at someone or directed towards a purpose. Okay? Then the subconscious has a problem. Because your subconscious does not know if you're talking to yourself or you're talking to someone else. Then it registers in your subconscious. And after a while, you don't understand why you feel bad, but you feel bad. You don't know why your self-esteem is low, but it's low. So these are the curses that we bring upon ourselves. So your subconscious is in here. The superconscious is in here. Your conscious mind is in here. The kingdom is in here. Jesus Christ said the kingdom is in here. He wasn't the first one who said it. Krishna said it. Gautama Buddha said it. Lao Tzu said it. But he was the last one who said it. He said the kingdom is in here. So if you're doing things that do not serve the kingdom or that speak against the kingdom or go against the kingdom, you're going to have issues. So how do you erase this stuff? What's a good hack to erase these things? I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Hawaiian ho'oponopono. So what that does is it takes the eraser and it erases the dry erase board. Okay, erase, done. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Now who are you saying this to? It depends on what you believe. So you say it to you because the kingdom is in here, okay? God lives in here, or whoever you think God is lives in there. It could be Jesus Christ, it could be Allah, whoever you think it is. Higher intelligence, infinite intelligence, consciousness, source, universe. Okay, so for our purposes, we labeled that the superconscious. So there is the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. So whatever you think that is, but you're saying it to both yourself and your co-creator, whoever you believe that to be. I'm not here to tell you what to believe or how to believe. Okay, so you believe as you believe. Whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, either way, you're a believer. So when you want to single out the things that you want to change, what do? Well, you identify which one. Okay, how do you do that? You look at the fruits. So we look at the subconscious tree, the roots of the tree. Okay, good morning, Ivana. The roots of the tree are your subconscious beliefs, your core beliefs. They shape your paradigm. Okay, your paradigm is the trunk of the tree. Your paradigm shapes the fruits of the tree. The fruits are your actions. You will know them by their fruits, by their actions. You will know who they are by the way they behave or what they do. And actions turn into what? Results. There you go. So if you want to change your results, can you just change the actions alone? Yeah, you can. But if you want lasting results, and maybe not just, a result toward the action, then you need to change the roots down here, the subconscious roots. You need to change that. How do you change that? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. If you aim all 4 pillars at one thing, it has to happen because you're a human being. Okay, if you want to see a miracle, all you got to do is go in the bathroom, turn on the light, look in the mirror. There's your miracle. You have been given a miracle. Most people don't even know who they are or what they are. They look in the mirror and they take themselves for face value. Or they have been told, or they have been conditioned to believe they are this, they are that. And they themselves identify with this, identify with that. I am this, I am that. I'm here to tell you you're bigger than that. You're much bigger than that. Okay? So for lasting change, let's say you're in a marriage and things happen. Thank you, Ivana. And things happen and you get a divorce. When you marry the next girl or guy and you do the same things and you get another divorce, guess what? You have roots that need to be changed. Okay, do you know what a serial monogamist is? I've dealt with a lot of them. People that have to be married and married and married over and over and over. And they go from spouse to spouse to spouse to spouse to spouse. Why is that? Well, because they never changed the roots. They never changed their subconscious. So the same habits that they have with the first wife or husband, it's the same thing they start doing with the second one. Now, human beings are chameleons. Okay, we can adapt to our surroundings. So we end up doing with the second person what we were doing with the first person. And if we were dating before that, certain traits from that is being pulled into this relationship. And the same bad habits from here go into here in this second relationship. And then what happens? Another divorce. And then if you don't fix the roots, it goes into the next marriage or the next relationship. And now you're pulling from all of these relationships, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. But the bad habits that got you a divorce over here and that got you the next divorce over here is going to get you another divorce over here. It's not the girl. It's not the guy. It's you. It's this one. It's the fruits that we know you by. Okay, because it says, it is written in Scripture, you will know them by their fruits. And the fruits are up here on the tree. Okay, the roots are the subconscious beliefs. So when you change the roots, okay, or change what you believe, a belief is a thought you keep thinking. When you change those, now you change the paradigm, or the way you see the world, or your attitude. And then when you change the paradigm, guess what? The fruits automatically change. Automatically. Those are your habits. Those are your actions. Then what happens? Then the results change. Now you're getting lasting results because you changed the roots. That's how it works. Because anybody can do anything, any action, right? We can do anything. We can fake it. We can go, okay, yeah, we're gonna be nice and do whatever, X, Y, Z, right? To get ABC, and then boom, we get ABC. Why? Because we did the right, correct action. But then the bad habits come back, or the bad habits kick in, and then what? Well, then this was just temporary. See, because then it reverts back. Your subconscious does that. It goes back to its original programming. So your subconscious is a culmination of all of your senses, and your first paradigm is between when you were born and 7 years old. So for parents, it's really important to be mindful of this, right? Because you can reduce the trauma in your children. You can reduce the obstacles in their life just by being aware of up to 7 years, 7 or 8 years of their life, depending. Different children respond differently. But if you make those years good, if you make those years positive, if you make those years good experiences, or the majority good experiences, right? Because we're humans. Bad things exist. Bad things happen. Bad things happen to good people. But if you're aware, now you can do something about it. Now you can make it better. And when you make it better in a child up to 7 years old, they have a better projection, because you take from here 0 through 7, or birth through 7, and then you go 7 to 14. Then you go 14 to 21. I had this attorney was my client. She was like the tops in her field. But she was having second thoughts about doing her own business. And I said, well, if you take now and you go back 20 years, take that chunk of time and observe that chunk of time. What happened in those 20 years? What kind of progress did you make in those 20 years? What was your work ethic like in those 20 years? What kinds of advancement did you make in 20 years? If you take that, you can project it from now out 20 years. Why? Because you're still that person. Because your subconscious was doing 95% of that activity. Your conscious mind only does 5%. You don't learn to drive the car every morning. You don't learn to brush your teeth every morning. "95% of your life is subconscious. It's through habits. So do we form bad habits like really fast? Yeah, you can. Can you form good habits really fast? Yeah, just as fast. Just as fast. But we look at good habits as being work. We look at bad habits as being fun. Okay? Just reframe. Reframe. Good habits are fun. Good habits are fun. Routines are fun. Build a routine. When you build a routine, guess what happens? Good things happen automatically. Why? Because now you have a routine to follow. And you follow it step by step by step by step by step. I have a process in the morning, every morning, and I follow that process step by step by step by step. It includes when I turn the cameras on, when I set things up, when I do this, when I do that, whatever. It's all a process, step by step by step. My subconscious does it better than my conscious mind. And that's basically what habits are. When your body does it better than your mind. And when I say mind, I mean conscious mind. So you're doing everything from memory. And it's not so much that you're going to erase a memory. Okay, it's not that. It's that you're going to take a new program and install it like you do in a computer. It's the same thing. Okay, it's the same exact thing. Your conscious mind thinks the thought. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. So if you write that thought in affirmation form, I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident. Let's say it's confidence. Now you write it. After a few weeks of writing it, you will feel the shift. You will feel the confidence shift. Then what happens? Well, now you're feeling more confident. Now your subconscious believes you. At first, your subconscious doesn't know what to think. Your subconscious does not judge. There is no judgment. So when your conscious mind tells your subconscious something, it doesn't have to be factual. When you get a bill, it doesn't know if you got a bill or a check. It doesn't know if the money is going out or if the money is coming in. So just write next to your bills, thank you. And call to mind the service that you received for the bill. Now you can appreciate the bill. But your subconscious sees it as payment. And what happens after that? Well, you begin to feel abundant. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, poverty consists of feeling poor. That's poverty. That creates poverty. When people start feeling poor. So now that your subconscious believes something, what happens? It starts to show you evidence of it. It starts to pull those things out of your life and go, look, okay, here, you're confident. Look, you did this. You did this with confidence. Look, you did that with confidence. It will go into your memory and go, oh, remember when you did that? Oh, yeah, that was confident. See, yeah, you are confident, right? You see, it starts to back you up. Then after a while, what happens? You become more confident. Okay? So all of these things add up. Now, the reverse also happens, right? When you start placing fear upon yourself. Or when you start counter-manifesting. What is counter-manifesting? Counter-manifesting. You know, well, I am so happy and grateful now that I have $100. Thank you. And then the next thought is, well, I probably won't get $100, but I wrote it anyway. There, you just erased it. That's counter-manifesting. Now, manifestation is your subconscious now. It's not magic. It's not voodoo. Okay? Because God lives in here. God will bring you anything you desire as long as you take the steps. Thinking is a major step. Because first you think it, then you do it. You have to think about the action before you take the action. When you take the action without thinking about it, it's compulsiveness. You just did it. You have no control. You just did it. That's a compulsion. That's different. That can get you in trouble. But when you have the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious working in concert or synergistically together, manifestation is automatic. It's automatic. You ever see the kind of people that everything comes easy to them? Everything comes easy. Right? Money comes easy, opportunities come easy, right? Relationships come easy, all of those things come easy. They're living in abundance here, in here. But the prison is also here. So this is either your abundant storehouse or a prison, one of the two. Because your subconscious learns anger. Your subconscious learns resentment. Your subconscious learns to argue. Your subconscious learns to fight. Then what happens? Then you always argue. Then you always fight. Then you're always angry. Then you're always mad. Then you're always, right? Always. Why? Because it's now become a habit in your subconscious. This is not rocket science. And it's in your Bibles. It's in all holy books. Okay? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You become what you think. How do you do that? Well, a belief is a thought you keep thinking. If you keep thinking a certain way, guess what? You're going to start believing that way. You're going to believe those things that you're thinking. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It depends what you think. Do you think you're a good person or you think you're a bad person? Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're correct. So think good thoughts. When you look in the mirror, you have to accept what you see. You have to accept this one. When you look in the mirror, you have to be happy with this one. You have to be happy with what you see. Now, if you're not happy with what you see, you need to do more meditation, more affirmations, more visualization, and more vocalization. Some people never do. Some people never get it. You know, they're living this loop. I call it the mouse wheel. You know, we have a societal mouse wheel. The societal mouse wheel is like you work Monday through Friday. Saturday it's soccer for the kids. Sunday it's church for the family. Monday you're back on the mouse wheel. And you keep living that way over and over and over and over and over. And then, you know, then one Sunday it turns into 4 Sundays, and that's a month. And then it goes into, you see, like that, right? It continues. That's the societal mouse wheel. What's the personal mouse wheel? Well, it's like a merry-go-round or a mouse wheel. Either way, if you go like this, right? Or you go like this. But your subconscious gets in the habit of thinking negative thoughts. And it gets in the habit of thinking positive thoughts. So it depends on which way you want to go, right? But some people think negative thoughts all the time. So they develop a negative complex. And that negative complex keeps them in torment in here, in the prison. And all I do, my job is just to unlock the prison and set them free. That's it. To take off the blinders. Human blinders look like this. Horse blinders look like this. Okay? And horses only have this experience. They cannot observe themselves. Only human beings have that ability because you are awareness. You know, we always talk about awareness, right? So awareness is supposed to look like this for a visual. It's supposed to be wide open. Okay? Your awareness can grow bigger than you. Why? Because it's awareness. It's not a physical thing. But what happens when you have too much stress? What happens when you're under a lot of pressure? Your awareness starts to go like this and go like this, and pretty soon this is the representation of your awareness. It's there. You're still aware. But everything else has pushed it down to this. It's no longer here. It's gone into hiding. It's still there. It's still accessible. It's always accessible. But it's like this. What happens when you take away the stress? What happens when you take away the pressure? It could be the pressure from the calendar. It could be the pressure from the clock. It could be the pressure from the job, from the house, from the family. But when you take away the pressure, it starts going like this. Okay, that's just a visual. But that's what happens. Awareness grows when stress goes. And it shrinks when stress comes. I deal with a lot of professionals, and what happens with professionals is they're very into their work. They have to be. They have high pressure jobs. They have to be on everything all the time at work. This is why they have retreats. This is why they have to do their me time. This is why they see me. That's why they have coaches. That's why they do these things. But I'm here for you for free. This is my community service. I'm not here to sell you anything. But when the blinders start to come off, they come down like this, they come off like this, and they stay off for a little while. And now you're aware, and now you can see. In the scriptures where it says they look but they do not see, now you can see when the blinders come off. Then what happens? Well, slowly, as you go back into the calendar, as you go back into the clock, as you go back into reality, the blinders come back up again. And now the societal hypnosis. You can see the societal hypnosis at any intersection. Just look at the people that are sitting there like this, waiting for the light to change. Like that, like robots. They don't look around. They're hypnotized to the light. They're like this, waiting for the light to change. It's the same conditioning as the person that's in their own vehicle alone, driving around, wearing a mask. Same thing. Conditioning. We get conditioned into this hypnosis. Why? Because human beings are so sensitive. We memorize actions. Our subconscious has us repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. All the time, all day long. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Mr. B. So whatever you repeat a few times tends to become a habit if you don't control it, or if you don't switch it, or if you don't change it. So if you're mindful that the kingdom is in here, I know a lot of people that go to church, I know a lot of people that go to temple, I know a lot of people that do a lot of things like that. Very religious. They have no concept that the kingdom is in here. They have no confidence in themselves. God lives in here. You partner with God, or however you believe. But that higher source, the superconscious, whatever the superconscious is for you, whoever or whatever that is for you, you partner with that. That's your strength. So when it says seek and ye shall find, when you hear that, right? You hear it all over the place. Seek and ye shall find. It doesn't mean you go out there looking. It means you seek in here. It means you go in here. Close your distractors. Close these guys. Go in here and seek. And the process is ask, believe, receive. Mark 11:24 in the Holy Bible. Ask, believe, receive. First you ask, but you have to believe in whatever it is that you're asking. Now, if you're asking for something that is unbelievable to you, you probably won't get it. So you need to believe in your asking. This is why everything starts small and grows. Okay, so we start small. Maybe we're going to try to manifest a cup of coffee. Okay, and you can interchange. The word manifest is interchangeable with goals. So you can set a goal to get a free cup of coffee. and then, maybe a parking space, maybe a lunch. And when these things start happening, you'll probably see them as coincidences. Just know that when you're calling something a coincidence, you're dismissing it. Especially if you believe in God. You're dismissing it. Why? Well, because now God doesn't exist if it's random. If it's just a random occurrence, it can't be God. And I know people that tell me that they believe in God and then they call something a coincidence. So it's one or the other. Either you believe that your life is just happening at random and things are happening to you like this, and if life is happening like this to you, you're suffering from victim mentality. Because life happens like this. It's the opposite. Life happens for you. Okay? Because the kingdom is in here. And everything unfolds like this. Like that. And it will unfold for you. Life unfolds for you. The ask, believe, receive works for you. It doesn't happen to you. So first you set the intention. First you say the prayer. First you make a wish. They're all synonymous. Then you have to believe in what it is you pray for. You have to believe in what it is that you intend. And you have to believe in what you wish. However you do it, I'm not telling you how to believe. And then you can receive. And I always, hi Desiree, good morning. And I always mention the fact that, if you're a good giver, but you're not a good receiver, you're cutting yourself off from receiving. Or receiving as much as you could. You have to be a good receiver. What's an example? When you give somebody money and they go, oh, no, what is that for? They just dismissed the giver. You see? Instead, say, oh, thank you so much. Now you make the giver feel good. Guess what? You'll probably get again from that giver. Because they were rewarded in their giving. You see? You see how that works? You reward them for giving you something. The other way, you're going, no, what's that for? You're dismissing them. You're making them wrong for giving. Now they can't feel good about it. Now there's no reward in the giving. Because it was the way that you received. And some of, another form of that is when you receive something and you turn around and try to find something to give them right away like that. What you're really doing is you're telling them you're clearing the slate now. If they gave you something, you don't want to be obligated, you find something, you give it to them. That's dismissing the giver. Okay? Don't do that. Just say thank you. Gratitude all day long. Gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe you want to give them a compliment. Oh, you're so sweet to do that. Thank you. Oh, you're so kind to do that. Thank you. You're so generous to do that. Thank you. Now you've made the giver feel good. When givers have a good experience, when they feel good about the giving, guess what happens? They give more. It's not to say that you're encouraging them to give more to you. You're just encouraging them to give more. And if humanity as a whole gave more, it would do us good. Think beyond yourself. Think beyond the giver. That's like when you have a positive reaction with someone. When you make someone feel good, guess what happens? They feel it in their heart. Their heart starts pumping like that. You ever think of something that makes you excited and your heart starts going like that, right? Okay, your heart chakra. Your heart gives off the biggest vibration in your body. When your heart starts going like that and you get excited, right? So somebody gives you something that you get really excited about. Could be Super Bowl tickets, could be anything, right? And your heart starts going like this, right? Now you're in a good mood. The next person that you come into contact with, you will probably greet them in a good way, or a nice way, or a kind way, or a happy way. So now that goodness has gone further. It's gone one step further. And the person that you greeted, right, that you made happy, will probably have a positive interaction with the next person they run into. Happiness is contagious like that. Good feelings are contagious like that. Thank you, Ivana. Thank you, Desiree. So it's good to be contagious in that form. To spread happiness, to spread goodwill, to spread good things, to spread positivity, to spread good stuff, the positive emotions. You never know what somebody's going through. That small little $3 cup of coffee or whatever it is now, right? That small little act of kindness goes a long way sometimes. You know, I have clients that make me laugh. I have clients that make me smile. I have clients that make me feel good, you know. And sometimes I'm having a really bad day inside. And I can't show it because they're my clients. We all have those days. But when they make me smile, my next client automatically gets better service. Automatic. Why? Because I feel good inside. So it goes from person to person to person. This is why they say, be the change you want to see in the world. Because you can change it one interaction at a time. When you have a good interaction with somebody, and you leave and you go on your merry way and do stuff, whatever you're going to do, right? The next person they come into contact with, that will probably be a better interaction or a good interaction. And now your good intentions have traveled more than just the next person. It's gone one more person after that. That's why it's important. Everybody's going through something. And it's none of our business. But we can change things just like that. Just by being a good person to somebody. Just by saying something kind to somebody. Just by being, nice to somebody. Or being generous to somebody. Kindness, generosity, compassion, and gratitude. If somebody gives you something, say thank you. They give you something, they'll go, oh, no, what's that for? Okay. It's like, oh, wow, thank you. This is so cool. This is so nice. This is so, right? Like that. And now they feel good for giving. And now they're encouraged to give again. And maybe not to you next time. Maybe it's just to somebody else. But because they got that good interaction from you, you inspire them to give more. And this is how you change the world. One interaction at a time. One person at a time. Romans 12:2. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What does that mean? What is it talking about? It's talking about your subconscious. that subconscious all day long. Renewing of your mind. Yeah, put good things into your subconscious. Okay. Affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that I feel good. There you go. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. When you keep thinking that thought, it goes into your subconscious as a belief. And now you believe you feel good. And now you're in a better mood. And now that translates out into a better life. It would translate out into a better life. That's what it's talking about. Spiritual transformation requires new ways of thinking. Transformation happens by reprogramming your subconscious, planting the good seeds. Never mind the harvest, focus on the planting. The harvest will take care of itself. Focus on planting the seeds, because what you sow, you will reap. You sow over here, you reap over here. You sow good seeds over here. When the harvest comes, you get good harvest over here. Same thing with bad seeds. Okay, you get what you give. Same thing. But it's subconscious. The renewing of your mind, of your subconscious mind. They don't say that part. They don't say that part. There's a little mystery to that. You know, it's like the other personal coaches that I see, right? Like a lot of them leave that part out. And I'm not calling them out or hating on them or anything like that. I'm just saying that I put that part in so that you understand that this is subconscious. So whether you're watching Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi or Bob Proctor, God rest his soul, he did a lot of good in this world before he left. Or whoever you're watching, just know it's all subconscious. Even your preacher in church, even your pastor in church, even the leader of your synagogue, even the leader of your temple, it's all subconscious. It's not magic, it's not voodoo, it's not witchcraft. God does not punish. God is love. We punish. We punish. We take care of all of that. We take care of the punishment. How? Through our choices, right? The subconscious beliefs down here. When these beliefs are not in alignment with what we want, okay? Because sometimes what we think on what we don't want. Oh, that's the last thing I want is blah, 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 right? Like you see people talk like that, right? That's the last thing I want. Guess what? It ends up being the first thing they get. Why? Because that's the topic. They focus on what they don't want. Focus on what you want. And then you install the new beliefs. Okay? The new beliefs. The new beliefs form a new paradigm, a new way of seeing the world, a new way of thinking. And when that happens, your fruits, the actions, become good. And then your results are fantastic. And you have a better life. And Jay is just about to say, see you tomorrow, because it's 8 o'clock in Hawaii. But yeah, okay? So put joy in here. Feed joy to this one, okay? When you look in the mirror in the bathroom, when you go in the mirror, instead of like that, just smile and say hello. Smile and tell yourself how good you're doing. Smile and tell yourself how much you love you. Smile and tell yourself what a great job you're doing. Your subconscious responds to imagery and sound first and foremost. And it recognizes you over everyone else, and it recognizes your voice over everyone else. Okay, we shall see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. We're on 7 different platforms every morning, and we want to end our stream, our Streamlabs stream we want to say